Alright, what's up everyone? This is the first video I'm doing. I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my Royal Paladin Majesty Lord Blaster deck that I named The Light from his right, Cast a Shadow to his left. I placed first with this at the regionals in Ohio, and I've been having a lot of fun playing around with it. Might change a few things, add some stands, something like that. But this is the deck list I have, and first up, Wingle Brave Starter. Obvious reasons. Lets you go search for a card with name Blaster. Good card. Next up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Future Night Lose. 1, 2, Bringer of Good Luck Epina. 1, 2, Albus Owls. Just 8 crits in general. I like to play very aggressively. It gets a lot of early game push in there if you hit one off, and also you can just add the effects to a rear guard if they perfect guard your Majesty Lord. I like 8. I just mix up the Eponas and Albastrals. I like 4 Lures just because I have 4 and they look shiny. Alright. 4 Margles. I only run 4 draw triggers. I see a lot of decks run 6 to 8. I think that they kind of can clog your hand up with 5k shields. Margle I like just because of his effect. Like, any draw trigger that has an effect is just really powerful in my opinion. The draws are nice just because if someone perfect guards them, then you still get to draw a card, where like a crit, if it's your last attack and you have the crit added, it's like a perfect guard just completely stops that. And then 4 heal triggers. I have no idea how to say her name. Elaine. 4 is fine. I've seen decks where they don't run any because they want to play aggressive MLB, but it's all opinionated. Alright, to grade 1s. I have 4 Assault Perfect Guards. In this meta I like 4. In the future I might run less, but right now with how powerful things can be, you need 4. 2 Dream Painter, in case I don't get the MLB ride off, or I need another card in Soul for a Apocalypse Bat effect. But it's nice if I only have 1 Blaster Blade in hand and 1 Blaster Dark. Ride Blaster Dark, use Dream Painter's effect, put Blaster Blade to the Soul, and gets up to 12k. 2 Pongal. I run 2 because I have 1 Soul Saver. It's kind of my backup grade 3. Like, if I don't get MLB off, I can just use Pongal to go search out for Soul Saver. 2 Knight of Friendship K. I'm thinking about changing that, taking out a Dream Painter or a Pongal or something to 3. I just think it's a really powerful card, especially whenever, say you have your rear guards here, they're up here attacking. So you attack with this one, and then the next turn, whenever you call out Blaster Blade, move him back, Blaster Blade's here, you got your 16k column against 11k bases, and then the next turn you move him up, he's another 10k. But right now I'm running 2, maybe more in the future. I'm possibly getting some, looking to get some off from friends or something. Got 2 Apocalypse Bat. Now this card's actually a Shadow Paladin. I don't know if you can really see that. It's a fun card. It becomes a 10k personal booster for Majesty Lord. A card with Blaster. You Soul Blast 1, the booster unit gets plus 6,000 until the end of that battle. So it turns your 6. You can have this behind MLB and he's swinging for 16 against 11k bases. Do the Soul Blast, bring him up to 22k to get over 11k's, but make it even more powerful. Against 13k bases, it's not the ideal card. If nothing else, you can use it to boost rearguard blasters, get them up to 19k. 3 of the vanilla 8k. I really like these in this deck because behind Palamedes, that's a 21k column, and behind Majesty Lord, it's 20. So against your 10k, you put this behind it. Against an 11k base, you put it behind Palamedes. 8Ks are good in any deck. I don't care what anyone says, really. On the grade 2s. I have 2 Star Call Trumpeters. I originally ran 4, changed it down to 2 because I realized after using their effects for the counterblast, they're essentially useless. Like, you call it out, it's an 8K grade 2, that's not that good. And it's counterblast, like if you don't have the counterblast, you can't do shit with it. Um, it lets you keep hand size, which is what I like. You play this, do your counterblast, go to card from your deck, and then at the same time you're keeping hand size. I think this is going to combo amazingly with Spirit of Blaster Blade and Spirit of Blaster Dark when those come out in English format. I'm probably going to run like 1 or 2 of each in my deck just to try them out, have some fun with them. Knight of Loyalty Bedivere. He's a 9K base. He gets plus 3,000 whenever he attacks if you have a Vanguard with the name Blaster. So you put him on the rear guard in like your grade 2 turn, and you have Blaster Blade or Blaster Dark in your Vanguard. He's 12, and then Majesty Lord also. He's a Royal Paladin. Shadow Paladin has a version of him. You could use the Shadow Paladin version in this deck, but using Shadow Paladin cards in this deck isn't really ideal. You don't want to have Blaster Darks in your hand because Blaster Dark clogs up and you can't use Assault's effect correctly. That actually happened to me in one of the matches in the regionals, and I lost that match because of it. Alright, next we have 4 single rare Blaster Darks. I'm looking to get an SP. If anyone has one, message me. Let me know, because I would really like to get at least 1, just because I think they look nice, and ideally I would love to get 4, but there's no way I'm putting that much money into it. I run 4 just because then you're bound to see 1 at least, and I really just use MLB to get his 12 and crit. I don't really go that very hard with the Blaster Dark and Blaster Blade effect to give him the plus 10, because a lot of people run 4 perfect guards. Perfect guard that, it's easy. Alright, then I have 3 trial deck Blaster Blades and 1 triple rare. Originally, instead of the triple rare, I was running this promo, but a friend of mine told me I couldn't use it in the tournament, so I changed it in my deck list and found out I could use it in the tournament. So instead it kind of just sat off to the side of my mat over here whenever I played. I said it was my good luck charm. I really like the starter deck one because it kind of goes along with Blaster Dark. I think they look good together. Story behind the triple rare one. A friend of mine let me borrow it, and a couple days ago he texts me and says, I just realized something. I'm a Cargo player and you're a Royal Paladin player. I gave you a Blaster Blade, making fun of the TV show. So he thinks that that's the reason I won. He thinks I'm destined to win Nationals now. Alright, on to grade 3s. 1 Soul Saver Dragon, SP. I run 1 just so I can get if I need it, I get Pongal in there, bring it out. It's a grade 3. It gets Twin Drive. It's a great card. I don't always have the soul to use it, but I can still 10k rear guard. No problem. I have no problem placing a grade 3 as rear guard. Next up, 2 Palamedes. Palamedes is an all-around great card. I'm trying to get my hands on at least 1 more, ideally 2 more. I would run 4 Palamedes, 2 MLB as my grade 3 lineup. Palamedes is, honestly, I consider him one of the greatest cards in the game because he wins you games. Like, you could use his effect, 13k base, run stands in the deck. There's no grade 3 that's going to be over 13k. You run stands in the deck, you attack with Palamedes and his booster, and then you stand him, now he's 18k, swinging against a 13k base, that requires a 10k. I think Palamedes is an all-around great card. Kind of surprised Royal Paladin has a card this powerful, but I love it. Exculpate. He is a very awkward card. For those of you who don't know what he does, he basically attacks the entire opponent's field. It requires 3 counterblasts. He sets you back to grade 2. It's a trump card. If you're calling final turn, he's good because he gets plus 2,000 for each card removed from your soul when he attacks. When he attacks, you take every card from your soul besides Blaster Blade out, and he attacks. It's a weird card. It's a very awkward card. Actually, at regionals, the way they played the time is if time ran out, all card effects were gone. So he was attacking for, I think, 22,000 by himself. And then as soon as I did his counterblast to 3, and they're like, oh, time's up, no effects. So I was supposed to attack the entire field. I ended up winning anyways because I hit a heal trigger and the damage changed. But 2 Majesty Lord Blasters, 1 triple rare, 1 SP. I got the SP at regionals before the match started. I consider it my good luck card. I think it's a really good card, and I've been waiting for this since I read about it, actually. For those of you who aren't familiar with the card, what he does is he sits at 12k if you have Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark in your soul, and he keeps an additional crit. So he adds so much pressure. It's a beautiful card. People have their different opinions of him and different opinions of the deck, but I think it's great. That's it for the deck. You can stop watching here, subscribe, rate. I have a little short story for anyone who really wants to stay in and watch. I'm just going to set up right here real quick. Alright, so we were at the match, and I think I had... Where is he? Alright. So, I had triple rare Blaster Blade sitting on my Vanguard, and Bedivere as a rear guard. And it was grade 2, in my hand I didn't have a grade 3. Or I had a Soul Saber in hand. And the judges were looking at it, and the judge kind of was like hinting towards his way of, oh, you don't have Majesty Lord, you're going to lose this. And so I attack with Bedivere. Bedivere gets blocked. And I thought to myself right then, right before I attacked with Blaster Blade, I said to the judge, I go, I'm going to drive check a draw trigger and draw an SP Majesty Lord Blaster, or Majesty Lord Blaster. And he was like, okay, he was saying like, alright, I was like, I'm activating my Psyqualia, just to poke fun at the show. I attack with my Vanguard, drive check a draw trigger, power to Vanguard, and I was like, oh, that's a little weird. A draw trigger, I said I was going to get that, and then draw, and it was an SP Majesty Lord Blaster. My mind was completely boggled at that point, like I was not expecting that at all. If it wasn't for that, I would have lost the match, really. But, I had some tough opponents. Anyone who was there, good job. Nice meeting you, for that matter. That's it from my deck. I have a few more decks I might do some profiles on at a later date. I don't really do much profiles. This is the first one I've done. I figured since I'm going to Nationals, I might as well share with everyone how I did. But thanks everyone for watching. Rate, subscribe, message me if you have any questions. I'll help you out as much as I can. Thanks.